Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, how do you respond when someone tells you they have an AI girlfriend?
Also, a new conspiracy theory has us changing the way we indulge in chocolate. And more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
What do you think about joining a running club to try to find somebody to date?
I'm always for joining clubs, activities outside of your normal day-to-day. I don't think it's a horrible idea. I don't think it's the best idea, but I don't think it's a horrible one either.
We've mentioned recently on the show that sometimes this feels more like for making friends, but it could be for dating too. I don't see why not. That you have to figure out what your interests are and join like social things revolving around those interests, and that's how you're going to start making friends and meeting people that could possibly be dating partners too. And so that's what people are doing. Some women I'm seeing here in Australia have decided that running clubs might be the way to go because, less intimidating maybe than going out to the clubs and the bars and whatever. The dating apps, obviously, you don't know if people are telling the truth on there. You go to a running club, the people you're going to find probably in better shape, you're hoping, right?
Active.
Yeah, active. At least they're trying. And just a whole different vibe. Now, I wonder, how would it be to try to have a conversation?
That's what I'm thinking too.
And what if the other person is faster than you? You have to find somebody the same speed.
You're trying to keep up with them.
Yeah.
There's this guy in front of you that's really cute.
Yeah.
And you're just trying the whole club session. You're just trying to catch him and you just can't. And then you finally do at the end. And then you're panting next to him in his ear.
And he's like, I have a girlfriend.
It's actually, I have a girlfriend, actually.
But what better motivation? Nothing else. You're going to hit your best times because you want to look good. You want to impress and you're chasing somebody. So from that perspective, I think that feels like a win.
And isn't it too, if you're like running and a man approaches you during run club, the other way around, and you aren't interested in him, then you can just slow down or speed up.
That's right.
It's an easy escape. Hi there, I'm Jeff.
Rejection. What a rejection.
Well, Jeff, I'm just slowing down right now, but I'm actually about to pick it up here.
Yeah.
So it was nice talking to you, though.
You just kick it into overdrive.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Have a good run.
Let me go catch up to Billy up there. Yeah. You know what? There's much worse ideas.
Yeah, there are. I would say there's a lot. Like, if you're trying to meet people, running club might not be the very best way just because you're running, but it isn't the worst one.
Yeah. I do. The last thing is I'm concerned about being sweaty when you're meeting somebody.
I don't look good, and nobody looks good while running.
Yeah, you're probably making faces and just things that you don't even realize.
Your form looks bad. Nobody looks natural running anymore. Once you hit a certain age, none of us look, you've never looked cool running. I don't want to run in front of people.
Yeah.
I don't want to run in general, actually.
This definitely isn't for us, but it's an idea.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
Following along in the footsteps of Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus, Target has a paid membership service that will be coming soon. However, the details are very scarce on this right now. No word on how much it will cost or what the exact benefits would be, but Target wants everyone to know they're going to have a subscription too. Just give them time.
I like Target. I'm a fan of Target. Do you ever feel, I can't decide if Target is less expensive or more expensive? And my argument for that is I'll go there and it feels like a place where I can get clothing that's not that expensive, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But then I walk over to the food section.
Right.
And I feel as if their little grocery section, which is minimal, is expensive.
That's similar to the question I was thinking of. Do you just prefer Target? Like Walmart already has their subscription.
I prefer Target over Walmart.
So are you asking me, does Target feel cheaper than Walmart?
I don't think it feels. Does it? It can't. It's more expensive than Walmart.
It doesn't feel cheaper because of how it looks inside.
It looks nice.
Walmarts do not look as nice as Target's inside. Even a bad Target still feels
Nicer.
fancier, nicer, because I don't know, maybe because it has like a real ceiling or something. I don't know. But it doesn't have a garden section for some reason that makes Target or Walmart feel cheaper. But I don't think the prices are actually that different, except in the groceries. I think you can find some real good deals at Target, and I think Walmart has gotten shockingly expensive
in the groceries.
Yeah, and just actually all around. I think Walmart still probably cheaper than most things, but more expensive than you think it is.
See, I don't shop at Walmart ever. I haven't stepped foot.
You're too good for that.
It's not that I'm too good for it, but I don't prefer it. I imagine in my mind that Walmart is similar price to my normal grocery stores, which is like Kroger that I go to. I would never get groceries from Target either, because whenever I go to Target and try to get groceries, it feels really expensive. And Walmart, the reason
it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it does. And it's so small. They don't have a good selection there. Where Walmart has a good selection. Yeah. But I am I'm not going to buy like the name brand. I'm going to buy like the Kroger brand version, right? The Walmart brand, I don't know what it is. I forget what it is.
Great value.
Great value. I hate it.
No good.
It's not as good. And so like if I'm going to get the cheap version already, because I'm going to be cheap when I go to the store, I don't want the Great Value brand. Because like the chicken nuggets, they aren't good.
You know what's crazy? Is that Target has their own brand. Did you know that?
What's it called?
Good and Gather.
I think it's I've bought. The other thing too is I bought clothes from Target.
Oh, Target's clothes.
Good.
Yeah.
And they have their own.
I've had pretty good success with that.
They have their own clothes brand too. What's I've
that
bought
called?
there before. I don't remember. I have
Goodfellow?
It's Goodfellow.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Goodfellow's good. I've got some. Like I have this one shirt that every time I wear, I get big time compliments on. It looks fancy.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Where'd you get this from?" I was like, "It was like $18 at Target. It's a nice button down shirt."
Yeah.
But I've shopped for clothes at Target. Feels like a good place. My girlfriend is like obsessed with it, and she spends all of her money there.
You know what it is about Target too? Here's what makes it feel more expensive. Even though I really don't think. I bet you even if you go through the groceries, I bet you it's really not all that different from Walmart. You know what makes it feel more expensive? The Starbucks.
Inside.
Yeah. That feels expensive. Even though Kroger also has a Starbucks, it's not the same. Target
feels
Starbucks.
Different.
You walk in, you smell it, you're like, I'm in a fancy place.
I was in Target just yesterday, and I do remember walking out and smelling Starbucks and being like, this place is too good for me.
Even for me, it's hard to say no to the Starbucks on your way out the door.
Oh, you're stopping in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I never stop at Starbucks.
I would
except
never.
maybe at Target.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Caitlin Clark of the Iowa Hawkeyes, her pursuit for history concluded as she broke the all-time NCAA women's basketball scoring record in the game against Michigan, which Iowa did go on to win, by the way.
She needed 8 points to beat the record going into the night. She scored the first 8 points of the game, wasted no time.
Now, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but did you have any idea who previously held the women's college basketball scoring record?
It was, Kelsey Plum? That it was?
Did you actually know that?
I knew that because I've seen her talk about it. Kelsey Plum at some...
What team did she play for?
A little bit of controversial... a little bit of controversial comment about Caitlin Clark breaking the record.
Really?
Yeah. She said something along the lines of she's ready to pass the baton. She feels like the scoring record maybe people thought defined her, even though she's went on to accomplish great things in the WNBA.
Kelsey Plum?
Yeah.
Which college team did she play for?
Back in the day, I don't remember what team she was on. But right now she plays for Las Vegas. As we know, the Aces, a very good team.
She set the record in 2017 with the Washington Huskies.
The Huskies, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's ready to pass the baton. I wanted to ask Isaiah, you've been watching more and more women's college basketball. Do you think you'll be equally as interested in the women's tournament this year? There's more star power in women's basketball than men's college basketball right now.
No, it for sure is. Like the women's college basketball, for me, I feel like it'll be almost just as much watching, and because my favorite college team, the Ohio State Buckeyes, sitting at the number 2 spot in the AP Top 25 right now. So if you think I'm not tuning into the Lady Bucks in the women's tournament, I will be watching every single game, I can tell you right now.
I feel like I'm glad that you're into women's college basketball because it's rubbing off on me because I didn't know this until recently because I haven't watched. I mean, I paid attention to Caitlin Clark, but I haven't watched anything. But then I found out that Syracuse's women's team ranked
in the 19th spot. I'm seeing it. They're 21-4.
Now, here's what sometimes steers me away from women's basketball when the tournament rolls around is that in men's basketball, and we saw it last year, any team, there's myriad upsets, and your team could be a 10 seed and they can make a run to the Final Four. In women's basketball, you look at the betting odds. You can bet South Carolina, the number 1 team, who nobody, at least I didn't even know they're number 1. Nobody's talking about them. It's all Iowa. It's all other teams. But South Carolina is like a favorite almost against the entire rest of women's college basketball.
Like you can either bet South Carolina or the field, and it's the same odds.
It's that
which is unbelievable in any sport.
Unlikely that any other team can do it. And so that's what I don't know that in women's basketball, it feels like it's often that way. And that makes the tournament feel less fun if you already know, even going with 64 teams going into the tournament, you already know who's going to win it.
But you think about, like, in the history of women's basketball, like UConn and the undefeated run they went on where they won, like, an incomprehensible amount of games in a row. That's kind of how it's been as of late. And when you think about college basketball, like you said, there's so many big star names right now, like Caitlin Clark. They're ranked number 4. If you asked anyone on the street, they would probably think Iowa might be ranked number 1. Yeah. And then if Iowa isn't ranked number 1, you probably would think who? LSU is ranked number 1.
They just won, right? Last year.
And
Angel Reese, does she even play still?
Yeah, she still does. They're ranked number 13. Their team is very good. But South Carolina is sitting at number 1, undefeated right now. And like you said, the odds are insane. But my Buckeyes sitting at number 2. I'm ready for a magical run.
You know what's fun is that I don't even know anything about South Carolina. It's going to be fun to cheer against them.
We can root against
the Goliath, the bad guys,
Let's take
the big
down.
bullies. Yeah, come on. We gotta root for some upsets. I'll fill out a women's basketball bracket.
Oh, I'm filling one out.
Oh, yeah.
And I already know who I have winning.
I'll fill out a lot of them because I want to win the money.
Now we're talking.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Just something I just discovered on TikTok. You ever heard of the Dorito theory?
I feel like there's always some sort of theory, conspiracy surrounding Doritos.
Yeah.
Tell me the newest one.
The Dorito theory. This was just, I don't know if she claims that she developed this theory, but she's the one in the video explaining it. A woman's name, Celeste Aria, who says that hold on, let me cut and start over. The idea is that only experiences that aren't truly satisfying are maximally addictive. Imagine eating Doritos. When you eat a Dorito and finish a bite, you're not fully satisfied, but you can't stop eating.
That's a good theory.
Yeah. She goes on to say it's not the same as eating, say, a steak or eating a really satiating food that's high in protein. After you bite, where you really feel that sort of fullness and the warmth of satisfaction, but eating like potato chips is addictive because the peak of the experience is kind of when you're tasting it and not afterwards when you feel full. And so then people are going on to list a bunch of other experiences that might fit this bill. Do you have anything that you feel in life would qualify under the Dorito theory?
I like the Dorito theory.
Yeah.
This is very accurate.
It's eye-opening.
You can never get enough of something that you don't actually need.
And that's something that doesn't actually leave you feeling satisfied afterwards.
A great example of this, I'm real good at twisting into this. This explains situationships. The guy that's not giving you enough attention, that doesn't really care, is always the guy that you want the most.
That's a good
The guy that's filling your cup, that's being really nice to you, that's asking you on dates all the time, not so much into him.
Yeah. If they like you too much, they would give you what would actually satisfy you. But the person that you just can't quite win over, the chase, I think that qualifies.
What about when you're scrolling on TikTok? One of the more exciting parts is when you first scroll to the next video. Not like right before it starts.
Yeah.
Because you never know what it's going to be.
Uh-huh.
And then you watch the video and you're like, meh, next one. And then once you're in the motion of scrolling, you're just like, what could be next? It could be anything.
That's a popular one in the comments of just TikTok in general. TikTok, I think dating apps fall into that as well, is just the scroll of imagining something better is coming next, but you never get to that thing that's like, now I can finally stop.
Sounds like a slot machine.
I feel, yes.
When things are spinning, that's the most exciting part. And then it's like, you won 23 cents.
Yep.
And you're like, but it was so much fun when there was 2 little cherries there.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 things left that are a mystery.
Slowed down.
Could it be another cherry?
The bloop,
It's a
bloop,
banana.
it's bloop, 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 bloop. Could it be? And then it's not.
Banana.
Literally. I want to see. I think actually there's so many things that qualify for the Dorito theory. Something that is addictive because it's not the fully satisfying. 8772 RadioU. I think I want to hear anybody else chiming in with stuff you think qualifies for the Dorito theory. There's so many things, and we'll go over them next.
There's never been a can of worms they didn't open. The Riot, Radio U.
Dorito theory, which is a theory that's going around on TikTok. The idea that experiences that aren't truly satisfying are maximally addictive. Think about eating Doritos. You just keep on eating them, never feeling full, but you keep wanting more. The taste of the Dorito or whatever your chip of choice is the high, and you never actually get the satisfaction of feeling full. So people texting in with their thoughts. And Katie says Netflix, because they make their content bingeable more so than making like shows that actually truly, when an episode is done, you have a feeling of completion with it.
That's a good one.
Yeah. You know what? Could that even extend to, I had this criticism of Marvel movies for a long time, that they weren't there. The movie wasn't its own movie. It was always tying into something else. And sometimes you just want the movie to be the movie. You don't want a really long episode of TV in a theater. Jess also said online shopping. Right?
A little bit more. You always want a little bit more.
That is so true, too, especially with so much, like, if I just go start browsing Fanatics or Amazon, it's just an endless thing because it's like, well, I kind of like this hat. I kind of like this jacket. But what if there's a better hat or jacket or something if I just keep on looking? What about, this is just a quote that Allison shared. She said, 1 is too many, but 1,000 is never enough.
That's a good quote.
That is good. And then this is Corey. Corey texted in porn.
Fitting.
He went there. And it's true. The world is filled, and we actually talked about this too with dating apps recently. The world is just filled with these experiences, the Dorito theory experiences that never leave you satisfied, that just leave you wanting more of whatever the thing is, but you never get to the spot where you're like, man, I am happy I did that. How often do you eat a bag of Doritos all by yourself and then sit there going, well, that was a good choice? It just doesn't happen. But there's more money in addicting you to something, making you have to keep coming back to the dating app, to have to keep coming back to Netflix, to keep coming back to eat more Doritos than you actually need, than there is in making something that's just gonna leave you feeling good.
It's that dopamine chase. I mean, it's pretty much any addiction begins that way. If you think about any drug, that's how it is. It's that constant dopamine chase of what is the next high that it could be.
Yeah.
And that is the essence of the Dorito theory.
But the idea, the truth is that the reason we all keep on chasing these things, that we keep going through the Dorito theory, is because there is satisfaction available. There are things that satisfy you, and that feels good too. But it's so hard to find the satisfaction when so many things are leaving you want just a little more.
Yeah, usually like the worst things in life for you are the ones that give you like a little bit of satisfaction during it, like just enough, and then you're chasing more, but there's never an end. The best things for you are always the ones that you get no satisfaction throughout, but in the end, there's a large lump sum of satisfaction.
The carrot on a stick, or the dollar bill being pulled away by a fishing line. That's what we're all going through, and we're all searching for the satisfaction at the end of the line. And I'm telling you, one of the ways that you can get out of the chase is by finding a relationship with God. And the reason is because Jesus isn't trying to string you along. Jesus will give you the satisfaction right up front. Jesus will give you that feeling of completion, of fullness, of satisfaction that cannot come from all these other things in life that just string you along. Jesus wants to help you get out of that, because as we've discussed so many of these, they are at best neutral, but at worst, some of the most harmful things you can get into. Jesus wants to help you avoid that. If you want to know what it's like to be truly satisfied, start talking to him. Let him show you. You want to know more? Check out RadioU.com/free gift.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
A sad beginning, an interesting ending. I have a Florida man who is accused of carjacking his own grandmother.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
His own 77-year-old grandma, Alan Aspinwall, arrested and charged with unarmed carjacking, domestic battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I didn't know they broke it down by age. And theft also from a person 65 years or older. I guess that makes it worse.
Holy moly.
I mean, morally, it clearly makes it worse, right? But I didn't know in the eyes of the law, they had to.
If you're over the age of 65, then higher punishment for the person who.
I guess it makes sense. They're probably more defenseless than a 40-year-old. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But he allegedly carjacked her in her very own driveway. And here's what's crazy. It sounds like they lived together. So it was like, at first I thought, oh, he was just going around carjacking people and accidentally
got his grandma.
But no, the grandma said that he had asked her grandson had asked her to unlock her car so he could grab something from the trunk. But when she walked outside to make sure the car was unlocked, this guy, Alan Aspinwall, allegedly ripped the keys from her hands, pushed her to the ground in the driveway, and got in her car and fled the scene. To his own grandma.
And you have to think, right? A lot of times when people do like a carjacking, when they steal someone's car, they get out of there, and the person who they just stole the car from, like, they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So they can't, like, call the police and say, oh, Jeffrey just stole my car.
Right.
They're like, oh, this guy with a hood up and whatever hair they have describing you.
Yeah.
Obviously, your grandma can call the police and say your first and last name, and you're automatically caught.
Yeah.
So if you're going to steal anyone's car, make it not be your own grandmother who you live with.
Yeah. But clearly this guy wasn't thinking straight, and the semi-happy ending, what makes this interesting is afterwards, now, of course, he's been caught and arrested and whatever, but he went on to write a 4-page letter to his grandma apologizing for what he did. And I'm reading it, 4 pages, handwritten, college-ruled paper. And I've read some of it. It's very sweet. I hope that it's a moment for him.
Oh, come on.
I hope this is the moment where he's like, what have I done? My very own grandmother. And hopefully writing this letter was an eye-opening experience for him. And his grandma was probably like, glad to finally hear from you. Even if they were living together, she was probably like, thanks for finally writing.
I can't imagine this is. I mean, yes, it's nice that he wrote the letter.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to get past.
It does feel like a real rock. I mean, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom, right? Carjacking your grandma in her driveway feels like a grandma that seemingly, from what I'm reading in this letter, raised him. He says legal custody, ! In the letter. That has to be rock bottom for you.
Emily texted in what I'm thinking. I'm sure Meemaw would have let him borrow the car if he had just asked nicely.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sounds like it.
Could she not have dropped him off wherever he was going? And this isn't his first charge, of course. He's already wanted for an exposure charge. He now adds carjacking charge and theft and battery.
Hopefully this is his rock bottom. And I think this should be a reminder for all of us to write a letter to our grandmas.
Hudson is the maple syrup, and Isaiah is the power protein flapjack. This is The Riot on Radio U.
A man in Australia narrowly avoided disaster. He was a lottery winner. Supposed to get 2.8 million Australian dollars, which is about 1.8 million US dollars. Problem was, he had his winning lottery ticket in his pants pocket, put his pants pocket in the wash, the entire pants, not just the pocket, and didn't realize at first where he had left the ticket. Fortunately, he was able to discover that the ticket was in his pants before it was too late and somehow saved it from the washing machine. So he's still able to claim his winnings. But a close call.
Do you ever buy lottery tickets?
No.
I'm not a lottery ticket buyer.
I'm not even sure that I know how. I know I could do the scratchers. I know how to do the scratchers.
I don't.
Those come from those little kiosk things. You just pick the ones that look cool to you. But I wouldn't know how to buy like something for the Powerball. I don't know how that works.
And you go, and I think it's intimidating, right? If I went to the gas station to try to buy a lottery ticket, the people in front of me, whenever they buy them, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Whether they're buying them or scanning them in, I don't know.
Sometimes I hear what they say, and it still doesn't help me.
I'll take 3 17s, 4 of the 21s, give me 17 of the fireballs.
And double up on the bonus ball, whatever that means.
And like I know that if I was in there trying to figure it out, there wouldn't be a time where I probably would walk in, there would be no one in the gas station. I'd be like, you know what? Maybe this is the time I try to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
And then by the time that I got up to the counter, there would be a line of 7 people behind me, judging me.
Yep.
While I'm trying to buy 2 3s.
Forget about the the gas station attendant who is also judging you because, let's be honest, some of the least intelligent people can come in there and figure it out.
Yes.
And meanwhile, you're in there looking pretty put together, and you don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the guy who's just hanging out just outside the gas station, that's his spot.
Yeah.
He knows how to buy those
He's in there
things.
3 times a day.
Buying them.
Buying that and smokes.
Every single day.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, but I will say one of the better gifts that you can get as an adult, maybe at some sort of white, what is it called, a white elephant Christmas party?
Yankee swap.
Yes. The lottery ticket's always an encouraging one because there's so much potential there.
Yeah, but then you don't know. Do you split the winnings? How much do you have to win? No matter how much you win?
Who are you splitting it with?
The person who got it.
See, that's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much do you have to win to where you split it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like my grandmother.
I think it has to be like 500.
We do this thing at my grandma's house around Christmas time where we all go over there, and I don't know which of the white elephant. It's not even a white elephant. It's some sort of Yankee swap thing.
Okay, yeah.
There's a bunch of things on the table. We draw numbers. People get to pick.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of miscellaneous things up there. There's like bags of walnuts. There's bars of soap.
Yeah.
There's every now and then there's a couple lottery tickets. And they're always one of the first ones to go.
Of course.
How much money do I have to win to give my grandma some money?
You know what? This has happened to me before because my grandma used to give us lottery, like the scratch offs for every occasion and for some not occasions. And the one time I won a decent amount, used it to take everybody out.
No, you didn't.
For a meal. Yeah.
You're a good guy.
Well, I was also like probably,
How
can
old
I
were you?
admit this? I was probably like 13 or something.
Okay.
I don't even know if I was that
I
old.
took everybody
Yeah.
out.
But yeah, so it wasn't even really, if we won something real big,
Like, yeah, how
it
much would I
probably
have
wouldn't
to
have
win?
been ours. Yeah.
Like, how much would I have to win for me to give my grandma some money?
Yeah,
because she
now.
bought it for me. My grandma's 90 years old. And so I feel like it wouldn't have to be that much to toss back at her.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you win like $100 and you give her 10 back,
Like what is that?
What even is the point?
Exactly.
So it'd
But
have
if
to
I won,
be,
like,
I think
1,000.
500,
Yeah.
500, 1,000. I didn't even get to ask you what's the worst thing you ever put through the wash. If anybody has a good answer to that, 8772 Radio U.
You don't always have to agree with Isaiah to always disagree with Hudson. The Riot. Radio U.
Talky soulful character. Crushon.ai. Replica. Anima. Mimico. Any of these names ringing any bells?
What did he say?
No.
Those are some of the myriad options you have if you'd like to get an AI-powered girlfriend, a virtual date. These are some of the choices you have out there. Some of the choices that many people, more and more people, are utilizing. But, Isaiah, aside from the harsh judgment you may receive from your friends and family if you were to say, I have an AI girlfriend, you also have some other risks involved. A new report from Mozilla. Is that how you say it? Mozilla?
Yeah, I think it's Mozilla.
Mozilla. Firefox has found that, shockingly, many of these AI programs that people use to have their fantasy girlfriends also carry many potential privacy and security risks. Basically, you think about it. If you were to date a real girl, all the real things you tell her about you and your life, they may come back to bite you one day if you go back through a bad breakup. She
They
may
will.
tell her friends. Word may get out around town. But you think about it. You think about these AI companies. These aren't really, I don't feel, the most above board, clearly. And so anything you tell any of these chatbots, and it's not like you're keeping secrets from your girlfriend, your AI girlfriend. Anything that you tell to these AI chatbots, fair game, it sounds like, even because they have intentionally vague privacy policies. And so you're not just putting your reputation at risk, you're putting a lot of your data at risk as well.
And you got to think it's worse to be like outed with any information by your ex AI girlfriend than your ex real life girlfriend.
Yeah. That's got to be, it's one thing if a real person is spouting off stuff about you that you told them in confidence. If it's a real person, it's another thing when you gave it away to actually nobody, but also actually anybody potentially at the exact same time. And for what? What are you getting out of this exactly with your AI girlfriend?
And you got to think too, when do you even begin the conversation with people in your real life about your AI girlfriend? After you've been dating for 6 months?
How long?
A year?
How long before you introduce her?
And how does that work? We might need to start asking the question of, it's not about if you're the guy who has the AI girlfriend, how do you tell your parents? We should be preparing for how we're going to react when somebody tells us.
You're right.
Because myself, I'm not going to have an AI girlfriend.
No,
I can
of course
put that.
not.
I mean, the odds on that happening is about 0 in a million.
Yeah.
So when one of my friends comes to me and says that,
It's going to happen one day.
what am I going to say? Like, what am I going to say?
Yeah, it's tough because it feels like if they're telling you that, it's too late.
No, I mean, he's in love.
Yeah.
He's not going to tell me if they just started dating. It's going to be like far down the line. Like,
Yeah.
I want to tell you
And
about my girl.
He's built up the confidence to find, because you don't just go around letting everybody know you have a new AI girlfriend, no matter how excited you are. That's kind of something you got to work yourself up to. Like, do I really?
Do I bring her up?
Yeah.
When do I bring her up?
Uh-huh.
And then they have to look at you. And if you say it to me, if you say,
Yeah.
I just want to tell you I have an AI girlfriend,
Mhm.
I'm going to have to lead with, congratulations. I'm glad that
Yeah.
you're off the dating scene.
I know. I feel like a lot of people, what they say, parents, friends, the reaction has to be, oh, wow. I feel like that's the first.
That's where it ends.
Yep. Oh, wow. Good for you.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Not just
Do you
anybody
guys
can
live together?
get an AI girlfriend. So I'm impressed. Honestly, for you, I didn't know if it was ever going to happen. So
What's she like?
Yeah, what is she like? These are conversations we all have to be prepared for. Although I also feel the people with the AI girlfriends, maybe the people that don't have the most real life friends either.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
Today, a special character that is always making headlines, almost trying to create conspiracy theories nonstop. But the good thing about this wonderful celebrity is you never have to take anything that he says seriously.
Okay.
This
It
one
is.
put out by Kanye West.
I don't think that's his name anymore.
He goes by what, Ye?
I think he's just Yee now, yeah.
Is Yee Ye?
Yee, Ye. I don't know. I always see it written
Ye
down.
Ye? Is it two in a row or just one?
No, just one Yee.
So Ye, and at least publicly, and perhaps countless times in private, has asserted that people behind Twix have deliberately increased the size of their candy bars with the goal of trying to increase the population's weight.
Twix is only one.
Just Twix, not Snickers, not Reese's.
No other foods. Just Twix alone is responsible for making us all. Their motivations are not pure.
They're trying to make
The
us
people
fat.
at Twix, according to Yee.
And if you're not familiar with the Ye, in the past he has promoted wild conspiracy theories, some of which that have been just straight up offensive.
Yeah. I'll say.
But for Kanye, many a times his conspiracy theories immediately thrown away. But this one makes you question: are Twixes getting bigger?
Yeah. This seems more reasonable than any of his other stuff he's thrown out that I'm aware of.
And you would think that nowadays, if everyone's saying that everything is getting smaller.
Yeah. So if the Twixes are to be getting bigger, it really would make you raise an eyebrow of why. So are they getting bigger?
Well, research has been done.
But
by
research
people,
on the
yes,
Twix.
you know the people
Twix
look
research.
into it after Ye puts out a wild statement like
Was
this.
it George Costanza that did this research?
It seems that Twix has, in fact, changed the size of their bars.
Oh!
Not to be bigger, but to be smaller.
Oh, okay. So this is completely baseless. But are they more... Could they be more dense? Are they denser?
They're heavier.
Are they more packed with calories or fat than they used to
Those are
be?
good questions. I only have the size here. And it says that they are many, just like everything else is, shrinkflation has hit Twix. They are smaller than they used to be, probably more expensive. It seems as if this conspiracy theory we can throw away almost at the start.
Yeah, I think I would say so.
I feel as if I am never seeing full-size candy bars anymore. I don't even know what a full-size candy bar looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not even worth saying that they are getting more expensive. When was the last time you bought a candy bar?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I don't buy candy bars at the store.
It's crazy. They always have them there by the checkouts. And how often do you ever go, you know what? Today's the day. Kit Kat, come here. It just never
gonna be
happens.
you.
It never happens to me.
I will tell you, if I am going to pull the trigger on something like that, I am not going candy bar, but I will indulge in a Twix or Snickers ice cream bar. If those are in the little cooler thing at the gas station, that will tempt me.
Sometimes I get you. I was going to say, if I ever was to buy a candy bar, it would be either a peanut butter Snickers
yummy,
or just a straight up Reese's. Those are the only ones that catch my eye.
Really? I would go Take 5 or Snickers would be the two that I would consider.
And you know what? This doesn't count as a candy bar. And the only reason I would get this is because it's seasonal and the time is coming. Cadbury cream egg.
Okay.
I usually am good for one of those in Easter. I'll see them because those are so cheap too. Like you talk about all the other candy going up in price, but the Cadbury cream eggs always seem to be like 33 cents for one.
I don't go
which
chocolate.
is more than enough. One is more than enough.
I don't go chocolate at the gas station, but I will tell you that the gummies the gummies can get me.
The CBD gummies.
No, not the CBD gummies. Just like the regular old Lifesaver gummies.
Oh, okay.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.